Constructing your life is about much more than just building a bank account. Each week, join real estate entrepreneur and mindset coach Austin Linney as he interviews guests who are constructing their dream lives and impacting the world around them on a daily basis. If you're an entrepreneur or wanting to start a business, or you just want to hear motivating stories of how others have overcome the odds, you are in the right place. And now for your host, Austin Linney.
Guys, welcome back to Construct Your Life podcast. Austin Linney here. I have the honor, the pleasure of having Mr. Lee Fjord in the house. How you doing, my brother?
Hey, Austin. I am doing fantastic. Thank you for having me on the show.
Man, guys, you don't even know what you're in for with this guy. There's no telling where we could go. He might bust out a whiteboard. We don't even know. But he's an investor, multifamily investor, among other things. But what I always like to do is let the guests kind of start their story where they want to, and then we kind of go from there. So I'll let you take it away.
Thanks. So true to the word, construct your life. That is what I live for, is constructing my business around the life that I want to live. And I have the great pleasure of working in an industry where I can generally be able to do the majority, if not all of my work from anywhere in the world. And it's my objective in my life to be able to run my business from anywhere in the world and be able to do so and spend months at a time traveling, living in places throughout the country and throughout the world where I want to be, as opposed to where my desk happens to be.
I love that. And and guys, before we just got on here, he's literally leaving in a couple of days to go to Tahoe for 3 weeks to do some skiing, to do some networking, but also work. And me and him share the same passion. You know, we want to create a life that allows us to operate in the way that we see fit. Now, that being said, I do know that you're probably one of the hardest working guys I met. So that's where people get it twisted. They're like, oh, he's not working, he just wants to hang out. That's not the case at all.
No, I'll be working. I work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. My clients call me, my clients and my employees and my subcontractors call me, email me, text me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I'm always on. I'm always working. And it's really just about where I happen to be. That's the only, I do not need to be physically in front of a desk in order to be able to answer an email, put together. And it's as long as you design it properly and as long as you are willing to pay attention and do your work and stay focused, you can do it. I am building that myself every single day towards that direction.
And I don't think we would be remiss, because that's not, you look like this put together gentleman now. And I know when we met down in Austin, Texas, the story was a little different a couple years ago. And I don't know how comfortable you are sharing some of those stories, but to try to give context to, it wasn't always buying multifamily assets and all that stuff like that.
No, I started 2012 with getting my real estate agent license after having a failed business. I bought a business, and subsequently during the recession, and not that I'm blaming it on the recession, I would blame it on myself for the fail of that particular business. It failed. I owed the bank a bunch of money, and I set my self on a path to where I said I'm not going to renege on what I said to the bank. I'm going to keep making my payments. So I did. So I kept paying the bank, even though I had no source of money to be able to pay for those bank loan payments for several for that. So yeah, I got into real estate as a residential real estate agent. Turned into a property manager pretty quick when I realized that I wasn't very good at selling houses to people. And took over 20 houses, grinded for a good solid 4 years, built that property management business up to 220 doors, worked, in front of a desk or on my computer or in an office with a leasing agent, and a full-time assistant. And it was 60, 80 hours a week in the office, working hard, building something, then deciding that I wanted to go into investing after that. So I moved into investing.
And, you're not the only multifamily owner or investor that I've met that's maybe didn't exactly start out in property management, but it was definitely an avenue that you went down. There's a lot of misnomers about property manager. It's a lot of work. It's not sexy, but there is some value to understanding the constructs of how a property is managed / the nuts and bolts of the inside property, which I would imagine as a multifamily syndicator now, there's a lot of stuff that you take away from that journey that allows you to be a top level syndicator, correct?
Those years and that education was invaluable. Absolutely. I use the skills that I got during those years every single day. And it's the reason why my clients, my partners, should feel so secure in investing their money with my company and allowing me to be the steward of their future, retirement or their future income or their investment. And learned a lot of great lessons along the way. Is something that I think holds strong in this business, and is really helpful to me, and it's the foundation for my entire business.
And what was the genesis behind? I mean, obviously nobody wants, obviously everybody, I think ultimately most people want to be an investor, but what was the genesis to the shift to move out of the single family space? Not that you won't take down a property from time to time, but to move into the larger buildings, because I know you just closed on one and you sold one. So what kind of sparked that interest, and where did that start from?
The goal was always to move into larger, more scalable multifamily properties. You just have to pay your dues along the way. You have to, start where your feet currently land. And my feet currently were standing in front of a duplex. And that's how I got started, was a single duplex. Now I stand on top of a portfolio of 124 doors, including a 76 unit value add syndication deal that my team and I closed on about 45 days ago. And it's going to just be getting larger, and we're going to grow and scale from here. And I can't say how excited I am about the upcoming year and future years, and my ability to be able to provide my partners and my investors with consistent cash flow and bring that value into their lives so they can stay doing what they do best.
And what would you tell any young investor that is thinking about getting a duplex or thinking to scale up to multifamily? I meet everybody and that's the first thing they say to me. So, what advice would you tell them? I mean, because what I notice about you is that you don't lack confidence. That's an understatement of the year. And it's not an ego thing. It's just that you can execute on anything you can do. But I would imagine that's cultivated over many months of day in and day out daily activities, correct?
Absolutely. Yeah. I've made every mistake in the book, learning how to do this the correct way for me. And I would say to any young investor that before they go and start investing in a property or bringing in their own capital or other people's capital, that they really need to look inside themselves and look to their strengths and focus on their strengths and realize where they're really going to be able to bring the value, because, as they say, you're a jack of all trades and a master of none. So for many years, I was a jack of all trades and a master of none. And now I've learned what my true strengths are. And they're not going to be the same for everyone. One person's strengths are completely different than others. And not only realizing what your strengths are, but also where your weaknesses are and where you need to fill those gaps and how you're going to best be able to fill those gaps to avoid stumbling blocks.
And I know how I feel because that's what this year's been about for me, transitioning into my strengths and delegating the rest. But I want you to describe it in your own words. When you realized, or you surrounded yourself with the team that you currently have, and you realized that you didn't have to do everything, how did it make you feel inside when you went out and operated in business every day? Like, how much of a game changer was that for you?
Oh, it was the rocket fuel. Yeah. Realizing that I can truly rely on a partner to bringing the pain to our business, getting things done, accomplishing goals and tasks without me having to ask questions, follow up, or wonder whether or not something's getting taken care of. It makes all the difference in the world. Waking up in the morning, free and clear, knowing that my partner took care of that particular task or item and that I don't have to worry about it. That gives me the ability and the strength to turn around and focus 100% of my energy on the things that Lee is best at. And that if you can rely on another person or multiple people to be able to help you with those things, whether they're an actual business partner or a third-party subcontractor, it makes all the difference in the world.
And understand that I know a little bit about your story and people know about mine. Maybe that wasn't the initial first person that we found. Like maybe we had to go through a couple bad apples to find the right ones. But by going through that, when we do get the right one, we know that it's the right one. And that's something that people can't discount.
100%. Yeah. You got to break some eggs to make an omelet. And my worst experience with that is on my very first property. I hired and trusted a contractor that I thought was going to be able to get the job done. And subsequently, they did not get the job done, not on time, not on budget, not within the scope. And it was absolutely disappointing. But, you got to pick yourself up, not give up, and move on to the next one and be willing to let people sail off into their own lives and move on with yours and realize that you can, refocus, find someone else to fill that gap and find someone even better and bigger and hope for a better future when it comes to those types of things.
Mm-hmm. And something I haven't talked about a lot on the podcast, but I want to sit here for a minute because I want to talk about the psychology behind it, because I get a lot of people that come to me and they say they want to be an Airbnb management. They want to manage other people's property, but yet they've never done it before. And I'm like, well, then what value proposition do you give to? Will you just expect them to give you their property, their expensive property? So I want to talk about the mentality behind raising, a lot of money and having the burden and responsibility to handle somebody's $100,000, $500,000, and kind of your philosophy behind, earning the right to be able to raise the capital.
It truly is a right, and it is, it's a pleasure for me to be able to be trusted by my partners to help them. And there is a stewardship. There's a stewardship in management. There's a stewardship in raising the capital and being responsible for other people's money. And if someone isn't taking either one of those things, whether it's property management or asset management, seriously, it can result in egg on your face and potential loss of not only your client's money, but your own. And I have I have been in scenarios where I've put egg on my own face and I move forward, grew through the process. Luckily, at the time, I wasn't, it wasn't something that ruined me. It was on properties of my own, and or within the property management business, where it was a learning lesson, and you adapt and you move on and you move forward and address things in the moment. So, don't shove anything under the rug, because it'll just fester and grow, and it'll pop its, ugly head back out. So you gotta get things taken care of right then and there.
So your and my stories had a lot of similarities in the beginning of our investing, and I want to see if this rings true to you. For many years, I thought to myself, like I have a great idea. I know what I need to do. Like, why wouldn't somebody just trust me and let me execute on the ideas I have? And then one day I woke up and go, because you have to go experience it yourself. You have to go make the mistakes yourself. And when you could go out and lose money on your first 2 deals, but recover from it, and then gain the fortitude necessary, or the street cred necessary to go out and raise the deals, because it truly is. I look at it from the same context of coaching. There's nobody that I'm going to take on a coach, because once I coach you, I have my name on it, and my name is out on the street. And if you do worse as I coach you, then where's my reputation? So I take that shit so seriously when we get in a relationship like that. And I would imagine it's the same way when you're trying to do a value add apartment complex for your syndication partners.
It definitely is. There's the trust aspect, and there is being able to show my partners my track record of wins and losses is absolutely invaluable. And I am not afraid to show where I have stumbled. I'm not afraid to show not just the wins. It is important to show other people that you have fallen down, that you have skinned your knees, that you know how to get back up, and you know how to recover from it. Because inevitably, over the course of several years of stewardship of someone else's money in an investment, there will come a time where something doesn't go perfectly. It's inevitable. It's almost on a value add deal, it could be a monthly basis. We're dealing with tenants that don't pay, or a move out that happens that was unexpected, or a contractor who just stopped showing up. And you go, well, where was this guy? I was relying on them to be able to do the job that I hired them for, and I haven't heard from them in 5 days, and they haven't been around. And what did I do? And they didn't show up. It's time to move on. Too bad, so sad. Whatever they were able to accomplish, is what they got. And ideally, it's a scenario where you can recover quickly and easily. It's all about recovering quickly. You got to be able to get right back up, because as soon as you start losing momentum, or the momentum is against you, you will just falter, and you can't let that happen. You just got to push as much as possible.
And something that's not talked about enough, I think, on my show for sure. So I want to ask you, because I think you're a perfect guy to ask. If you look at the landscape of multifamily investing currently, it feels like everybody and their mother's looking for an apartment. Like, that's what it feels like, right? And I know deals are hard to come by. The market's compressed, and it's. So how do you go out and seek multifamily deals in a market where it feels like 900 teams are looking at deals? Like, what are the avenues that you're doing? What have you found that works and stuff like that?
First of all, I want to have the strongest and best team for that asset. I think that some teams are best fit for certain types of assets, and some teams are not. Some teams I meet and see out there shouldn't be in the business, shouldn't be going after the types of deals or size of deals or locations of deals that they're going after. And I worry for them, and I worry for their investors, but that's not on me. So what I try to do is I'm trying to and am building the strongest team that is the most capable of taking down an asset in that particular area. We haven't put a property under contract that we haven't closed. So it's, that's what I can say to a seller or broker, both, saying this asset fits our business plan and our team because of X, Y, and Z. And you might have a better offer as far as dollars and cents go from another team. But what happens when you get to the closing table, or you reach physical due diligence and they retrade on you? What happens when you get to the closing table and their bank pulls out because it turns out they weren't able to raise the money, or they weren't able to be approved for financing because they didn't have the high enough or the qualified net worth, or any number of different reasons. So what I can say is that coming to the table when a deal is available, we only bid on deals that we know will work for us, and we only put deals under contract that we can and will close. So that's what we do. And I think that when it comes to deal flow, it's all about presenting exactly what you're looking for to the person at hand, the person controlling the deal, the brokers primarily. That's probably the best example, are the real estate brokers. That's their living. That's how they make their living, is finding property owners who are looking to make a change in their business and trade out an asset, whether that's for something else or for something bigger, or they're retiring, whatever that happens to be. We just hope to be the team that they bring that opportunity to, so that when we have that in front of us, we take that very seriously. We respond within a very short period of time in a professional manner. And if we respond, we know that what we respond with, we can close on, and we close. We're closers. That's what I try to present to my brokers and my owners. If we get ink on this piece of paper, it's a done deal as far as I'm concerned. After that, it's just getting through the process and everybody being on the same team.
See, guys, that's the power of podcast, because he basically answered my next question. There is a thing in multifamily that if you prove yourself as a closer, I promise you more deals will come your way. It's part of that world. It's just, so if you go out and lay down and you knock out 2 deals, I guarantee you won't have to look as hard after you get. Now, that being said, the first 2 might be very hard to get over the finish line, but once you do, it's a lot different than single family. They will come calling to you because the deal takes so long to put together. They need to be in a relationship with somebody that can do what they say they're going to do.
100%. And once you've proven to the market that you are someone that can do what you say you're going to do, you're going to be taken so much more seriously than someone who has never done a deal bigger than 20 doors before. Like some guy that walks up to a broker who's trying to sell a 200 unit apartment complex, and he says, "Oh, yeah, I just closed on a 4-family last week." It's there, you just
awesome.
You don't get taken as seriously.
Well,
good for you.
I always tell this story. So last probably February or January, put an offer on 158 units down here in San Antonio, 6 different complexes. I was talking to the broker who'd been in the business 20 years. This is a true story, seriously, and it's not a joke. There's a guy who was worth probably maybe 300 million, right? And he was just bored. And he was like, I'm going to start buying apartment complexes. I'm just going to put in offers, right? He was like, I'm just going to buy this for 27 million. And the broker goes, it's not how it works, dude. It's not how it works. You can have all the money in the world. It ain't how it works. He goes, this is going to be a 10-year maturation process of me building up your team around you and putting together a 100 unit buy, a 200 unit buy. And it took him 5 or 7 years to buy grade A properties in Houston, San Antonio, Austin. And this guy had all the money in the world because that's not what it's about. And like, yeah, now. And so that's just a different world. You know, I have an off market guy that is a friend of mine that does 60 to $130 million deals out of LA. And he's like, dude, they just don't care. Like, it's not about that because this deal will sit on the table for 6 months. They just don't care.
Absolutely. Yeah. They want to know that you, A, can close, and B, you're going to be successful too.
Mm-hmm. Because moreover, there's a stewardship to take over a property. But what's interesting, right? And I laugh about this because only because I coach two of them do I know they exist. But commercial brokers are like, they disappear. I have no idea. I've been in the business 6 years and traveled around the United States. I've maybe met like five, right? And so they are a very hard group to find. And they probably do that on purpose, right? So if you can find one and you can get in their network. But what I tell everybody, and tell me what you think about this, is I love the untraditional routes. Like when I worked in private equity, we got most of our deals from lawyers, you know, because they handle big deals like that, or they're negotiating a deal for a big investor. So I always like going after the title companies, the lawyers, you know, befriending them. You know, you can get your beat on debt equity. Debt equity brokers are a big group that seem to always know where deals are. So there's so many different avenues to play.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's not just brokers. And yes, brokers are, and I know this because I am one. I am one with one of the largest publicly traded real estate brokerages in the country. But I focus on retail. And how it works is you have your core group of clients that buy the majority of the properties that you're selling, especially if it's in that larger, I'm talking, you know, $20-30 million and larger. If someone leaves you a voicemail that says, "Hi, my name is Lee and I'm looking to buy an apartment building. Would you mind calling me back?" The answer is no. I'm not going to call you back because I don't know who you are, and my time is valuable. And why would I bother picking up the phone to find out that you're trying to learn how to house hack your first duplex? Have you ever closed a deal? Do I know you? Are you part of my network? If that answer is no, then I have 30 other people that I could pick up the phone and call that'll buy this deal. Why would I call you, Mr., you know, guy who cold calls my office voicemail? Like, you know, the guys who have my cell phone number and their numbers in my phone, when they call, I answer because I know they're closing deals and they pay my bills. And same thing goes with, you know, other folks that, now I'm willing to help others that are starting out, but there is this, you know, time value of money aspect that you really have to focus on. Like, my time is valuable. If you're going to use my time, I really need to know how that is best used and what the goal is here with this conversation.
No, 100%. And it's not a rude thing, because I'm getting to that point myself, is I'm so inclined to help, but you got to meet me halfway. I mean, dude, perfect example. I can't tell you how many people I've taught Airbnb to and they don't do anything with it. Or like this young kid asked me the other day, like, "Hey, let's meet up for coffee." I'm like, "Sure, sounds great." I'm like, "Let's meet halfway." And he's like, "I don't know, that's kind of far for me." And I was like, "Okay, I'm good, playa." Like, you know, people pay me like $300 an hour to learn Airbnb. Like you can't be bothered to drive an extra 7 miles. I was like, "Dude, I'm good, smart ass." Yeah. Like, I mean, like, what the fuck, dude? Like, I'm like, what is going on right now? Like I'm not busy. Like I think I worked like 17 hours yesterday. Like, I'm just trying to do a favor because you know somebody I know. And so those are not the people I'm going to do business with by any stretch of the imagination.
Not even close. And if you're reaching out to somebody that's a brand new contact and asking them for their time, then you go to them. Mm-hmm. You drive, you know, oh, he's not willing to meet you halfway. Try, what's the closest Starbucks to your front door? I will meet you there. If you're not willing to meet me at your house or at your office, you know, you name the location. If I really want to meet someone and I want to bring them into my circle, I go to them. That's sales, that's business, that's relationships. And if you show someone else you're willing to go the extra mile, drive the full distance, then they're A, going to take you more seriously, and B, it just, it's a give and take, and you're asking, but you're not willing to give. Doesn't make any sense.
Dude, I'll do you one better. My two mentors, I flew across the country for a 30-minute meeting. Mm-hmm. And that 30-minute meeting turned into 2 hours because they saw how dedicated I was. He's like, I got 15 minutes. And now he's like one of my best friends. So either you're willing to put in the work, and you know what's funny? True story. I flew to Colorado a couple weeks ago to meet one of my Airbnb clients because we were going to meet in person. He got COVID, right? And couldn't meet. So I hung out with my friend. Mm-hmm. And you know what? Just randomly, I met a guy who's now my coaching client on that weekend. So, I mean, it's all like right. that $300, right? That it cost me to fly, like paid, like, so you have to, but you have to be open up here to everything being a possibility, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. And open to all things all the time, but not willing to let everything in all the time.
Because my coaching client, I said it to him last night, because saying yes to something means you're saying no to something else.
100%. And I have to get better at saying no, because it just ends up eating up, it eats up your whole day. Next thing you know, you've said yes to so many things or answered so many phone calls that you wake up or you look up and you go, my gosh, it's 8:30. I'm still at the office and I've gotten, 40% of my to-do list done. All right. Why? And then you look back and you go, oh, because I answered that phone call to that guy and I ended up on the phone with him for an hour and a half, teaching him what he needed to do in order to make his syndication business better. And you just can't do that.
Well, what's interesting is, thank goodness for AAA Adams. I have reconfigured my schedule where I try to do all my coaching, on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and the podcast. And I leave Friday as a wild card day to kind of get some stuff done or go play golf with some investors or something. And we really need to operate, as you get busier. Like, one of my favorite lines is like, do you think that somebody that makes $300,000 a year bitches and moans or like complains about their things that a $50,000 year job earner does? No, because he's too busy to even talk about it. And so that's the way we operate. And so I'm curious, because it's probably one of the things I care about the most. How do you keep, with so much going on, with so many deals, so many firsts this year, how do you keep yourself positive? How do you keep yourself moving forward? Like, what is the daily routine like?
I have a daily morning routine. Every single morning I wake up, I do my morning meditation. I do my, it's a very basic workout. Like, I do 2 minutes of sit-ups, 2 minutes of push-ups, 4 minutes of yoga, and then I'll do a 2-mile walk or run every day. It's, that just charges me. During my walk, I do my affirmations. So I'll put on my affirmations and it'll be whatever happens to be playing on through YouTube that day. And I have a couple people that I follow, and it's just like, that is what charges my battery first thing in the morning. Then after that, of course I make sure to drink my water first thing in the morning, have my cup of coffee, drink my green smoothie. And, so what you put in your body is what you get out of your body physically, and what you put into your mind is what you are able to get out of your mind. I'm a huge believer in, the law of attraction, The Secret, essentially, where what you think and what you continually focus on is what comes into your life. If you focus on, oh man, I've got a lot of credit card debt, I need to pay off my credit card debt. Oh man, I've got a lot of credit card debt. Oh man, I've got credit card debt. Guess what? You're going to continue to build your credit card debt like that, because that's all you're thinking about all the time. But if you think about, I'm an awesome salesman, I'm an awesome salesman, I'm great at what I do, I'm great at what I do, I'm great at what I do, or I can't wait for this, or I'm excited about this apartment building closing. I'm ready for this apartment building closing. I'm ready for this apartment building closing. Guess what happens? It closes. So what you focus on is what comes into your life. If you focus on negative things, you're going to have a lot of negative things in your life and a lot of stress. If you focus on positive things, and the things that bring you joy in your life, you're going to have more and more of that every single day. So it's a pretty basic thing. And how do I get things done? I keep a daily running to-do list, and I practice time blocking. You listen to every productivity podcast, and they basically, a lot of them will say the same thing. I'm always open to any suggestions of how to make myself better. Always learning, constantly listening to podcasts, constantly reaching out to people to learn how I can make myself better. And I have a running daily to-do list that is time blocked with specific times, specific tasks, specific goals that I intend to accomplish. And my one falter that I would say is that I need to start saying no to more things and not putting things on the to-do list. That's it. And that can usually be done by, assigning them over to other people. And I just recently hired a virtual assistant to be able to help me with some of those things that I don't have, that are important, that need to get done, but I don't have to be the one that gets them done. So that's what my virtual assistant is for. And I can't tell you how valuable that is.
No, and I love that. And in the vein of that conversation on focusing what's important, I find with a lot of my recovery clients is that what I try to move into, and this is a conversation we had last night with him, is that I don't give a shit what happened in the past. Do we need to address it at some point? Of course. But let's focus on where we can go, right? And let's keep the framework of where we're headed, and let's focus on there. And then when we're so rooted in there, then we can go back and address the other stuff. But we have to build up the foundation of positivity and forward movement first. And that's where I think a lot of people get it wrong, is they're too busy looking over their shoulder instead of looking up what's possible.
100%. People that focus on the past are just going to end up reliving it over and over and over again.
And here's the great thing. I'm going to let you in on a secret, everybody. You can't change it. But you can use it as fuel, or you can use it as a learning experience and then move on. Like, that's my big thing with recovery. Like, when you're 18 years in recovery, you don't have to say that you're in recovery anymore. You've moved past it. Like, I'm like so over it. It's like, it's good, bro. Like, I clap my hands. It's fucking amazing. Like, I'm almost 2 years in. It's awesome. But there's so much more. It doesn't define me. I think that's what I'm trying to make a point of. It doesn't define who I am. It was part of me, but I've moved on to a different version of myself, and I think everybody else should too.
Absolutely. I can't agree more. It takes years, but if you're always looking over your shoulder, you're never going to grow as a person.
Yeah, because you put brakes on the growth and it's not acceptable. So if people want to find out about you and what you got going on, how do they hunt you down?
Yeah, so I just launched my my syndication website. They can learn more about my journey there and reach out to me directly through there. It's greenforestcapital.com. You can also email me at email@greenforestcapital.com, or reach me on my cell phone number, which is 850-797-1307. My business provides, workforce housing to families in need, and we provide a fixed rate of return to investors. So my goal is to give people their fixed returns coming into the future. So long story short, we are an investment company that helps other people reach their financial goals.
So I'm going to say it on camera. So I put him in a pickle, so he has to do it. So next year, we just did our first Construct Your Life Mastermind in Austin in November. We're doing one in Tahoe, Denver, Nashville, Miami, Austin, and then on the East Coast. So now we need to bring one to your hometown next year. So we need to get a date on the books, and me and you will speak at it, and we'll grab some other speakers. It'll be a good time.
Absolutely. And even if it's not here in St. Louis, I'm definitely willing to be at the one in Tahoe, because I'm all right. I've got a place to stay up there, and you're welcome to come stay with us.
Tahoe is probably my favorite place. It's so beautiful, Emerald Bay. So we'll get a boat, and we'll go out on that boat and have a good time. But dude, I want to thank you so much for coming on. So much great stuff to talk about. Guys, if you like this episode, make sure you share it with your friends, send it out to everybody, and we appreciate you listening.
Thanks, Austin.
Thank you for listening to Construct Your Life with Austin Linney. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to rate, review, subscribe, and pay it forward by sharing with a friend. Most importantly, take this opportunity to start constructing your life by taking immediate action on what you learned. For show notes, resources, and more information on one-on-one coaching with Austin, visit constructyourlifepodcast.com.